38 with your host, Superfly John Lee. And as I said this week, we got a big name inside the studio. He comes from Grindhouse Pro Wrestling, and you might have heard of him, a man called Mr. Showbiz. How you doing, brother?
Oh, living the dream, man. Living the dream. How are you doing?
Doing good. So let me get right to it. When was your first time experiencing professional wrestling?
Oh, man. I was 8 years old. I remember it's a, flash in the pan memory. I remember seeing a match on Monday Night Raw. It was a tag team. I think it was a cave match involved. I remember Batista and Kane, but that's literally the only memories I have of that. After that would be, remember watching my father record on VHS back when you did that. And it was WrestleMania 21, and that was the first WrestleMania I actually watched.
Heck yeah. That ain't bad at all. That shows that you got experience right there at 8 years old getting to see professional wrestling. What made you want to become part of the business?
At 8 years old, I didn't decide to be involved in pro wrestling, but I always thought that would have been cool. 8 years old was the shift of totally focusing on pro wrestling.
Yeah.
By the age of 12, right before my 13th birthday, my grandpa took me to a wrestling match is how he called it, a wrestling show in Jasper, the Armory. National Guard Armory, and it was XCW Midwest, which had Marvelous Mitch Ryder, Bull Payne, all those really good indie guys. And I seen the ring and the ropes and the canvas, and I was like, yeah, that's something I would really love to do. But I was born with a rare disability, so nobody who I ever brought up the idea of me being in the world of professional wrestling would have ever, they never gave me the credit for, it was always, because of the way you're born, that's, you don't get to have that. And for years, I put it to the side, and after COVID, was lucky enough to find out about Grindhouse, and I just celebrated. I went to the arena, first started training 2022, March 2022.
Nice.
And just graduated a couple months back. Yeah.
And you didn't let your disability get you down because they told you that you would not be able to make it into that business because of it. But here you are now, 2025. You've been actually striving. You got Leo Grimm Business.
Oh, you know it.
That's a big feat. That's nothing to slouch out either. They can say what they want, but you've proven that you got that disability, but that did not stop you because you're here to make an impact. And people are starting to see that, Grindhouse. I don't care what they say. They know that you got a monster in Leo Grimm. They know that due diligence has been helping y'all. They cannot take away what you've done in such a short time.
Right.
2022, man.
I know, right? From 2022 not being able to talk on a microphone to 2025, and that's one of my strongest attributes up to this point. And if I can use my voice and my abilities to help Grimm Business, help Leo Grimm, help Ghostmaker, then that's what I'm going to do. And up to this point, we are now the 3-time #1 contenders for the GPW Tag Team Championships.
Ooh.
And sooner or later, we will obtain the gold.
That's what I'm feeling because, like Drew Dillinger's been saying, he's called out DW. He's told them that Grimm Business deserves the tag team title shot because it feels like DWO is scared and that they're ducking y'all.
Oh, you know it, tag team. What those kind of milquetoast tag teams always do. Yeah. They want to be the defending champs. They want to be the honorable champs. But when it comes time to stripping the yellow from their spines, they don't know exactly how to get the job done. So it takes someone like Mr. Showbiz in order to go and try and talk to the right people to get us the opportunities. And then when we get the opportunities, what happens? Grimm Business wins. And then what do? They sweep us under the rug.
Exactly.
Sweep us right under the rug. Thing is just going to get rid of us, but that's the problem. It's only going to make Leo Grimm angrier. It's only going to make Ghostmaker angrier. And what's going to happen if we don't end up getting our championship matches like we've earned time and time and time again, well, then we're just going to handle some grand business on everybody and see how that works.
Exactly, because it feels like Deathward Order knows that y'all could beat them anytime, any place, and that they've been ducking you for that long. Kirkpatrick is here. He said, "Where is that one? Are you the one doing the podcast?" I was, No. They're on strictly business, doing things and getting things set that I cannot tell anyone right now. Just know the podcast God has been hosting a lot more since I beat Andy last year. But enough about that. You've been making a name for yourself. Your guys have been making names for yourself. Is there anyone on Grindhouse that you have on your radar that you could possibly bring in to Grim Business?
Man, oh man. Yeah, that's the thing, Mr. Showbiz has some high standards, so they got to meet them standards. And I like Cyrus Riley.
Ooh.
Big monster of a man. I dig him. Oh, man. OG Ugly had a little more ugly attitude. I can maybe see him. But as of right now, I think Leo Grimm and Ghostmaker are the two perfect people to come into Grim Business and for us to be able to take over and do what we do best. And like we have been doing since the very beginning, since I knocked out John Wayne Murdoch with my lifted shoe. Since we beat the quote-unquote greatest tag team in Grindhouse history in Roughhouse. We've beaten them all, and we've beaten all of Grindhouse's best. But for some reason, they just tend to want to just jab at Mr. Showbiz. They want to just push us off to the side and not give us the opportunities we've earned. Well, that just doesn't stick well.
Exactly, and I've noticed that because every time that y'all do something, they try and put something in y'all's way. Anytime y'all have overcome the obstacles, they find a new obstacle to put in the way and stop y'all from rightfully going after the titles. You should be tag team champions right now. DWO, they're good. But at the same time, if they're scared to put the titles online against y'all, are they really the greatest tag team?
No, they're paper mache. They will crumble under Grim Business. And that's what they don't understand. They're over there in their own little worlds. They got the higher ups in their back pockets. They're going around spreading their good message, using their disabilities to their advantage. Me, I don't care what these people think. Why should I? These are the same people that behind my back would be dirt talking my disability.
Exactly.
DWO, same thing. These people want to clap for them while they're watching, but when they turn around, it's like, welcome to the circus show, because that's all they think about people like us. And I understood that from an early age. And now I'm not allowing them to speak for me and my actions anymore. The people don't matter. Grim Business matters.
That's right. Because it's awfully funny that they treat those guys and their disability special, but then they see Mr. Showbiz and what they do.
I get gripped up and had my gear stolen.
Oh man!
They stole my boot, they stole my jacket, stole my hat, and then I had to go out to the ring, risk myself, in order to get my stuff back that they stole. I can't win at Grindhouse. They steal my stuff, they steal our championships, they steal in the spotlight, they steal money out of my pocket, and it's about time they right the ship before Mr. Showbiz buys the shit.
Exactly. Because Drew Dillinger had to help get your stuff back because of everything that they did. Why is it that they treat those guys special because they're deaf, but then they know that you got this disability and they decide, you know what? Mr. Showbiz don't need our help. He don't need our appreciation. We're going to kick him down and steal everything that he has.
Because DWO is Grindhouse's Gophers. They are the Gophers. They're the Uncle Toms of the disability community. Of course they like DWO.
Yep.
They'll go over there. They'll do the nice little tidbits for the newspapers and the podcasters, and they'll go and say all the nice things and put the company in a good light. And they ain't got to say much.
Yeah.
But That's what they do. That's all they're good for. They're not like Mr. Showbiz. They don't know how to stand on their own 2 feet with the knives in their backs because they'd rather keep forward and not know what's going on. The truth of why they're being used is because they're lackeys. And I refuse to be Grindhouse's lackey. I'm nobody's lackey. I'm Mr. Showbiz. I'm your silver-tongued sultan of Sunday night. And I will be respected whether they like it or not. And if they don't like it, I'll tear everything up they have.
That's right, because they need to understand it seems like they're coming off like picking favorites. They've already chosen their favorites. Their favorites are DWO, aka Death World Order.
Oh, yeah.
But you got pushed aside. You got stomped on. You get treated like you're nothing. Even though they know that you got this disability, they're like, he can handle himself. We're going to put our eggs in these guys' basket and watch them hip-de-hop and do our rap-de for us.
Yeah, and what happened? They aren't defending champs like they claim to be. You know, they're not one of the best tag teams in Grindhouse. No, they're not even close.
Exactly. If you're going to put the tag team titles on someone, you want someone that's going to defend the titles. That's going to wrestle and defend them day in, day out. Honestly, I've not seen DWO do this.
Nope.
Since they won the titles, I've not seen or heard anything about the tag team championships being defended at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling.
Because it's irrelevant.
Oh, man.
They've made the tag team titles irrelevant from their favoritism. Why? Because they're yellow. They don't want the truth. The truth hurts.
I can see that because there's another title that's also not being defended. The .com championship. That's been held. That's not being defended. Same thing with these tag team titles. There's a prime opportunity to have the .com title defended. Prime opportunity for the tag team titles to be defended. What happened? Came and went. Never happened.
At this point, Mr. Showbiz ought to just be the .com champ.
Exactly.
At this point, Mr. Showbiz can take it all across the world. All over the world. I have the money backing. All they gotta do is put the strap on me, put the straps on Grim Business like we've earned, and maybe Grindhouse will get a little bit better than backyard barbecues and barroom brawls. You know, maybe we'd bring in a little bit more people that actually want to spend money than just sit outside and smoke a ciggy and buy a 50-cent coat. You know, Grindhouse has their priorities all mixed up. They should be strapping the rocket to Grim Business.
Exactly. Because y'all have already proven that y'all are willing to fight. Y'all are willing to go and defend these titles. But DWO is ducking y'all. It feels honestly like they've been making sure that they don't go near you guys at all. They're supposed to be fighting champions, right?
Yeah.
I've not seen them fighting anyone.
No. What happened? We're supposed to be number 1 contenders 3 times over. Where's our contract? Why hasn't Mr. Showbiz been brought a contract? How come some money hasn't been stuffed in Mr. Showbiz's pockets yet? Why? Because they don't want none of Grim Business. They don't. And they know they don't. That's why they're over there eating their Wheaties in Grandma's basement playing pro wrestler. While people like me, like Leo Grimm and like Ghostmaker, are pro wrestling.
Exactly. Hi, Brian Titus. But that's the truth. You guys are number 1 contenders, and y'all have not yet seen one moment where y'all got to take on the champions. Y'all have been trying, y'all have been waiting, and nothing has come about from it. I find that favoritism being shown, and it's starting to blatantly be obvious.
Blatant.
And man, I tell you what, if they want those titles to be defended, y'all are the guys to do it with.
Yeah. You want relevancy? Mr. Relevant.
That's right.
You want that? Give us what we're earned.
Exactly, because Grim Business has more than earned the right to be the tag team champions opponent. And what's happened? I've not seen DWO defend their titles. What I have seen is DWO find any excuses they can to avoid having to put the straps on the line against y'all. They know that y'all are number 1 contenders. They know that y'all are ready. They know that y'all been waiting for it. And they've not once stepped up and be like, you know what? You and us. This pay-per-view. They don't want to fight y'all because they know that the moment that they fight y'all, the straps are leaving. hate to say, but the straps are leaving the DWO because they're going to underestimate y'all. They already are.
Oh, I mean, they would be willing to defend the titles against somebody like Joey Janela and Megan Bayne when they want to kind of bring in some of their clout into the company, and then DWO, takes the easy way out with the pseudo intergender tag match, and then they're like, okay, we'll take a little bit of popularity off of this, and then we'll go on, we'll keep our little straps, and we'll just have a nice little fun time. This isn't about fun and games. That's all they're playing is games. They don't want the real wrestlers. They don't want the real tag team of Grindhouse, the real monsters of the squared circle. That's why they're ducking. That's why they're running. That's why I haven't seen a contract. That's why I haven't heard a whisper about them defending their straps honorably, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They are not honorable people.
Exactly, because if they was, they would have already put those titles online. But we've seen over the course of a couple months now, those titles have not been defended. Those titles have not been heard from. The last time we even heard of them being relevant was when Rough House had them. And then Rough House loses them. And yet, we ain't seen Grim Business get their shot at all.
I mean, I think I've seen Grim Business beat Rough House a couple times.
Exactly.
I mean, supposed greatest tag team in Grindhouse history. If you can't beat Grim Business, then you ain't the greatest.
Exactly.
Grim Business is the greatest.
That's right.
And so, I don't understand. Every other tag team is going to be getting their opportunity before Grim Business. And I don't know, what does Mr. Showbiz have to do? Do I have to throw money out? I mean, I got money.
Apparently you have to, because they know that y'all are number one contenders right now. So why is it that y'all have to wait in line when y'all are supposed to be head of the line and waiting for that title opportunity?
Yeah. That's it. They want you to wait your turn.
That's right.
You're in this business, supposedly you're supposed to sit back, earn your opportunity, and wait your turn. Well, I feel Grim Business's turn has done.
What's up, Jonathan Edmond?
I feel it's done past. We're beyond that point. We've turned the corner. Grim Business is not just owed the tag team title match. I feel at this point we're owed the tag team championships.
Yep.
How can you claim yourself to be an equal opportunity business? How can you claim yourself to be for the betterment of professional wrestling, and you don't want the best of the best standing on your front lines?
Exactly. Plus, they know that y'all are number one contender, so why are y'all waiting behind a bunch of others? When you're number one contender, that means that you're ahead of the line. That means that right now you should have already had your title opportunity. But I ain't seen it. I've not seen any advertisements saying Grim Business gets their title shot. I've not seen DWO go anywhere and say Grim Business gets first dibs. No. You know why? Because they know that y'all are number one contender. They don't want to put the titles on line because they know as soon as they do, that could be the very end of their title reign.
Yeah, it's what Grindhouse wants. They don't want to recognize Mr. Showbiz.
Hey, yo, Mayhem Media.
As the biggest bad guy in their company. Anytime Mr. Showbiz goes out to that ring, he gets a reaction.
That's right.
The people may not like me, but they will pay to see me.
That's right.
Thus, they'll pay to see my boys.
Mr. Showbiz, I want to introduce you to someone. Mayhem Media. The man that behind it also has a disability.
Right on.
And this is Mr.
Showbiz.
That's right. Mr. Showbiz, and I'm introducing both of y'all to each other. Let me fix this shot for us.
Right on.
And there we go. It should be fixed now. But this is, he said, hey, yo, Showbiz.
What's up?
This is someone that has had disability, and he was told that he could never make it in wrestling.
Yep.
But he's been doing this thing as a manager since 2022. I want to introduce y'all because JD himself also has a disability.
Right on.
And I think that y'all could do something together for a podcast as well. So that's definitely fire to introduce y'all.
Hey, nice to meet you.
But yeah, that's what it's about. Grindhouse has always been keeping away Grim Business because they know that the moment that y'all do get y'all shot, it's a done deal.
Right. It's all about, like you said, it's about the obstacles, right? Mr. Showbiz has always overcome obstacles. Case in point, let me describe to you a little bit about my physical disability.
Yep.
So I was born with a legitimate 1 in a million rare disability called Adams-Oliver syndrome.
Yeah.
I was a 3-month premature baby. My mom's water broke, and I had to be rushed and C-section, all that jazz. I was born. My right side of my body is 2 inches shorter than my left. I am missing a hip socket in my right leg, so it's just bone on bone with the pelvis. There's a muscle, bone, joint, whatever you could possibly think of. There's a problem. But then, Mr. Showbiz is used to overcoming obstacles.
Yes.
But when does it get to the point when the obstacles are so big you can't hurdle? And it makes me wonder sometimes, who has it out for Grim Business? And it makes me wonder, it makes me question why Grim Business tries like we do. We go out there, we bust skulls, we win matches, we make money, we put money in people's pockets. We do everything right. We don't just wait for our opportunity, we earn our opportunity, and then we get zilch.
Exactly.
At this point, I'm tired of the obstacles. I'm tired of the hurdles. At this point, Mr. Showbiz plans on kicking down every hurdle. And a Grim Business has to take over by force, and that's just going to be what we're going to have to do. We don't want to go there. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to take food off of nobody's table.
That's right.
But we will. We will. And if they don't like it, well, then they better do what we've earned rightfully, and that is give us the #1 contendership, give us the shot for the Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships, give us the winning purse already, because we're going to stop BWO to dust.
Mayamiya said, I am the same way, overcome every day. And he said, hell yeah, let's have him on. So there you go. Just hit him up. They're called Mayamiya.
All right.
Their podcast as well, and I think you and JD would get along.
Right on, brother.
That's what it's all about.
What it's all about.
But yeah, with Grindhouse Pro Wrestling, you proved that you got all these issues.
Yeah.
But you wasn't going to let that hold you down. You wasn't going to let that stop you and persuade you not to ever try anything with the rest of the business.
Yeah.
But then 2022 rolls around and you're like, fuck it.
Yep.
I'm going to live this life, and this is a life that I can live. I'm doing it.
Yep.
And you overcame that. And look at this, 2025, you got the Grim Business behind you. You've proven that your name, Mr. Showbiz, is not just a name, but a way of life. And you have been living up to it since that day.
Thank you.
How does that feel? Landon Scholler said, hi, guys.
But
how does that make you feel?
Yeah, because I told you for years I put pro wrestling behind me because, after people telling you for so long that you can't do something, it's a mental thing. You literally start to kind of believe it. So, and I noticed, especially even at my younger years, my health was declining rapidly anyway. That my knees, everything's shot.
Yeah.
But I figured after COVID and 2022 when I signed up for Grindhouse, I'd given up about my ideas for pro wrestling for a long time, and I went and I was an English major at the university level for 6 years until COVID hit. About a couple years down the line, I've been working on writing. I'm a writer. I have some stuff I've been getting published recently. Essays, comic book scripts,
Heck yeah.
movie scripts, short stories, novels, whatever you think I can write. I taught myself.
Nice.
That's what I like to do normally. Now, when 2022 hit, I had the opportunity. I found out Grindhouse opened up and was, somewhat near my home, an hour and a half away, and that's the closest really any wrestling school's ever been to my home. I had the opportunity to hitch rides back and forth on weekends with a buddy of mine, James, And yeah, I started going every week for the most part for like the last 3 years. I made my in-ring debut in the beginning of 2024. My first promo was cut after Rumble Grindhouse 2024. First time ringside with Leo Grimm was in February. And like you said, in a little over a year and a half now, yeah, it's been crazy how much Grim Business has ascended in the realm as a tag team in the world of professional wrestling.
Man, Media said, 100% truth. It can be hard to hear that over and over. Gotta love capitalism, baby. Gives people like us opportunities, even if we gotta make them ourselves. JD.
Yeah, no, that's like he said. Sometimes you just gotta make them yourself, especially when nobody's gonna believe in you.
Yeah.
So, and luckily, the only person legitimately that never told me I could or couldn't do something was my pa.
Heck yeah.
Roger Senior.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, no, he was legitimately probably the only person that never told me I could not do something. Because of his support's one of the main reasons why I was even able to pursue Grindhouse.
Heck yeah. And that shows that you had at least one person to support you, and that guy never wavered, never told you that you couldn't. He was behind you 100% of the way. And because of him, that helped you take that leap. Because everyone else was going to tell you that you couldn't. Everyone else was going to make it known, oh, you got this ability, you can't do wrestling, you can't be for this world. Well, you went and you said, I ain't going to let that stop me. Hey, Grindhouse is close to my house. I'm going to go there. And the rest is history, because that changed how you saw things. It helped you be like, oh, so there are other people with disabilities that also are in the wrestling.
Right.
I can do this too.
Right.
And you proved that.
And I remember growing up, obviously one of the biggest influences, Zach Gowen, of course.
Yep.
I grew up watching him. That was one of the first things, missing one leg, So that was really the first actual instance where I seen, somebody like me could be in pro wrestling. And I remember one of my earliest experiences. I remember the first ever combo DVD set I ever got from WWE at a Walmart was a double pack. It was the history of the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
And it was the Dusty Rhodes story. And then I remember listening to the Dusty Rhodes story and come by, he couldn't even walk as a child. He had this hip thing or whatever with his legs, and he wasn't able to walk functionally as a kid, and then was able to later on and got into pro wrestling, did all that. And it was, instances like that it kept the hope alive when it probably shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But, I'm not like most people. I don't just let someone tell me what I can and can't do, and then I quit. I'm going, for the most part, I'm going to do it in spite of you now. But, and I've had people tell me that numerous times before. I'm doing stuff that healthy people dream of doing. And I'm like, you could if you really wanted to, in most cases.
Exactly.
And when someone who literally, I can't drive, I don't drive, I have to rely on everybody literally to get me places, whatever. And I understand a lot of people don't have those same kinds of support systems. That's important too. Some people don't have that one person in their life to tell them, hey.
Exactly.
But for the most part, as it comes from somebody that's got all the ailments you can think of, I find a lot of, especially healthy people, they take a lot of what they do have for granted, and they make less of their opportunities because of that.
Yep.
Because they automatically think these pseudo-menial things are so hard, or they're so difficult, or they're worth quitting on. And I'm over here like, I can't hardly walk, but I'm limping out to a ring.
That's right.
I couldn't write a single sentence before going to college in 2014. Now I just inked a. I can't say too much about it, but I inked a deal with an essay I wrote. I wrote an academic essay that's going to be published in a research institute in the United Kingdom.
Nice.
I just got that email not too long back. So, people can do it. They just got to be willing to put in the 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 hours it's going to take for you to become successful and be able to understand how to do something well enough that people, in a sense, are wanting to pay you for your services.
That's right.
And then that's where I'm in that sort of gray area right now. I'm at the point where I'm starting to make little change with what I'm doing, and I'm starting to now gain some exposure with what I'm doing. But considering from the year and a half ago to 2 years ago when I wasn't published and I wasn't in pro wrestling, and now I'm doing the two things I always wanted to do throughout my life, and people always told me that it's impossible or your odds are slim to none. I think I seen Al Snow say something along the lines of you can't live an unordinary life if you just do the things ordinary people do.
Yeah.
Something like that. And, that's the truth. Most people don't think you can be a writer or an actor or a wrestler or a whatever, because most people, the average person, just wants to do their 9 to 5. They want to get their careers in line. They want to have their 40, 50-hour work
You're right.
And they don't look for anything outside of the box. They just want what's normalized, what can get them money. People do so much for money. It's kind of, they're cruel on themselves. People tie in their wants in life and their wishes in life to the almighty dollar, and I've noticed if you really kind of cut the majority of that out, you can go on to hopefully lead a happier life in that instance. Because if I would have never at least tried pro wrestling, or I would have quit on writing before I got good enough to write publishable stuff.
Yeah.
I did twice. It's important to try the stuff. Excuse me, allergies. You're good. It's important to find the stuff that really actually makes you happy in life, whether or not it comes with any type of financial gain.
Exactly.
You don't have to make a living. You don't even have to make much of any money, but as long as it gives you some kind of creative purpose or fulfillment, that's all that matters.
Exactly. And the only one that's holding you back is yourself, especially when opportunities appear before you, because some people may think to themselves that they can't do it. Some people may think to themselves that it's out of their league. But that's only them holding themselves back. If you had done that in 2022 when you first saw Grindhouse was close to you, you would never have made it.
Yep. I was at that crossroads moment, because that's the first thing I thought when my buddy asked if I'd possibly been interested in trying it out, because he was interested at the time, but soon after found out the wrestling bit wasn't for him, and he, went his own way on that whole thing. But still was able, he gave me rides and stuff back to the arena. I was at that crossroads moment of, I'm 2022 right now. I'm, what was I? I was probably about, 25.
Nice.
I was around 25 at the time. So, I was at that moment where I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to get to do it. Because, like I said, my health-wise, my body's in no good shape.
Yep.
Especially once you hit around 30, people don't understand the shift from 18 years old to 30. That's a very quick shift when it comes to your health. Things drop off you like flies down your it. But, I was at that point. I was like, if I don't do it now, I'll never get to do it. If I don't do it, I'm going to stay home and do my writing anyway. But it's something I always said I wanted to do, and people always told me I couldn't do. Well, I got the opportunity. I might as well take it.
That's right.
I'm going to take it.
Because if you had just let that sit inside your mind and you chose not to, you would have had that regret forever.
Yep. I would have never went ringside. I would have never managed matches. I've never been able to hold backstage interviews, do color commentary, stuff I always wondered how you were able to do it on TV when I watched it as a kid. I always wondered, how do you do commentary? How do you get into doing ringside managing or wrestling? And now I've done everything. I've wrestled in a 2-on-1 handicap match where Cash Jackson illegally pinned my shoulders to the mat.
Man.
You might want to think it was fair game, but it wasn't. I've managed matches as a backstage correspondence. I did color commentary. Like I said, for my writing, I published poetry, I published essays, I published short stories. Working on my first movie.
Hell yeah.
Which, the short film, we're going to be filming with Dex Block Studios on the 22nd.
Nice.
So that's in the works now, too. Getting my production company, Team Productions, which you can find on YouTube and Facebook.
Hey, you're also doing a movie. I'm doing one as well. October 25th.
Hey, right on.
That's what it's all about, because the opportunities come to you. You just got to reach out and grab them, because no one else is going to hand them to you.
Nope.
A lot of people will look at the opportunities that's being handed to them, and they'll be like, well, so-and-so didn't give it to me, so I'm not taking it. Well, who cares what so-and-so does? Grab it and take it, because their loss, your gain.
Yep.
Because if they're not going to take it, then it's yours to take. That's the way I see it, because you may have the disabilities, and you may have been told that you couldn't do it, but 2022 came around, and you grabbed the bull by the horns. You said, so what if I got these? It's now or never. You only have one life to live, so why not live it the way you want to live it? Exactly. Otherwise, you got the regrets, and the regrets are not going to be good.
Oh, no, that's your worst case scenario. You get 40, 50 years old and be like, damn, I wish I'd done something with my life. I wish I'd done something.
Exactly. Because you came into this already with the intention that you want to be a part of it. You knew at 8 years old that you want to try your hand at it.
Yep.
You've been told from that age all the way until 2022 that you could not do it.
Yep.
But Grindhouse made sure you could. What was their thoughts when they first met you?
At first, because my whole thing when I first talked to Ronnie Roberts, the first thing I brought up was, I was thinking about doing some color commentary, or writing was the first thing I brought up, because I'm a writer, right? The first thing I brought up, how can I help with production? Well, as the thing is, Coach was telling me, in order to, work for a production, you have to understand what it's like to work in a production.
Yep.
And so that's when he had me, I did some of the backstage correspondence interview, did a couple interviews. Then after that, he put me on the commentary table with Nick Manawa.
Nice.
And I got to, shoot back and forth with him a bit. Was finally starting to find my footing, speaking.
Yeah.
At the commentary table. And right when I was getting comfortable, which Coach was telling me, ahead of time before that, don't get comfortable. He told me from the start that he felt I had talents better suited for in front of the crowd than just sitting behind a desk. And not as a shot to anybody that just does that.
Yeah.
But that was his way of telling me that I can do it. I can be more than just someone backstage, or I can bring something out into the world of pro wrestling that hasn't been brought to the table before. And that hasn't. My loaded boot is probably, in my opinion, one of the most unique weapons in professional wrestling.
Nice.
Because there's not many people that can lift off a service boot and load it up Iron Sheik style and blast someone in the Chrome Dome with it.
True.
There's not many wrestlers out there doing something like that. And so I've been able to use it to my advantage and help Grim Business do what needs to be done.
That's right.
I took my first victim from this loaded boot was the one of the kings of the death match, John Wayne Murdoch.
Nice. I remember seeing that. John Wayne Murdoch took a loaded boot to the head.
Yep.
And that's unique because it's something that you came up with. Because it's something that you actually do wear.
Yep.
And that makes it all the more unique as a weapon.
Yep.
No one else is doing that.
Nope.
Like Mayhem Media said, God believes in you too. Because that helped you find your footing, because if you had not done that, you would never have been in the wrestling business. What helped you come up with the name Mr. Showbiz?
Now, that was the one thing growing up I was always almost a stickler on. I wanted to have the perfect wrestling name. That was my dream growing up, was to be a pro wrestler. Of course, training wasn't... Nobody at the time was going to give me a shot legitimately.
True.
But I would have the trampoline in the yard, and me and my little brothers would do the backyard thing like everybody else pretty much did. I loved pro wrestling growing up. And I would come up with everybody's character names for the most part. And I watched this one DVD. It was on Omega Wrestling, the Jeff and Matt Hardy's promotion they started when they were teenagers.
Hell yeah, you going old school.
Oh, you know it. Yeah, Organization of Modern Extreme Grappling Arts. Probably the coolest name in pro wrestling company history, in my opinion. And I remember there was this one wrestler on there. His name was Champagne, but it was spelled different, Cham, and then Pain, Pain.
Nice.
And I was like, that's cool. I like that. So I thought it was smooth at the time, but I had this idea for a wrestling name called Charisma, but it was K.RIZMA.
Nice.
Charisma. And I was like, at the time, I thought I was hot shit, right? I even, before they closed down the website, and I still have it back at my home, I even had custom gear made from me by the exotic Adrian Street.
Ooh.
Right before the hurricane or whatever hit, and they had to tear down, they had to stop selling their wrestling gear. Yeah, I got some of that not too long before that.
Nice.
And yeah, I still have that back at the house. And I started thinking of stuff like that, and I was like, I like kind of names like that. And when Grindhouse came along, I was like, well, what do I really like? Well, I like Hollywood. I love Hollywood, like that, the image.
Yeah.
I love movies. I love entertainment, books, whatever. And that's okay. And what do I like? Growing up, always loved carnivals. I like Ray Bradbury's like dark carnival kind of a thing, right? That's the first thing I thought, dark carnival like, and I was like, well, and I thought, Mr. Showbiz came up, and I was like, I just imagine the top hat, the split tail coat.
Nice.
And I was just like, yeah, that works.
Hell yeah. Maya Media said, I'm also a former backyard wrestler.
Heck yeah. Oh, I remember them days, man. There was one time, me and my little brothers were out on the trampoline. It was during the summer. I want to say it might have been around 09, 08, in that area. And we were doing the backyard thing. We loved. I just not too long before that, I think, got a big bundle of DVDs on a Combat Zone.
Ooh, nice. So, Combat Zone for wrestling. Yeah.
And we were trying a little, trying to act tougher than we look, for kids. Yeah, we had this little old school like cheese grater.
Nice.
And of course, I'm the older brother. I ain't about to put a cheese grater in my little brother's foreheads.
Yeah.
So I was the one that usually took the abuse on that end. And I remember one time he put this cheese grater up to my forehead and just popped me. Just popped me good. And chunked me right there in the forehead.
Oh, man.
And I was bleeding down all my face. And I remember my grandma, that was when she decided to come out the front door of her house across the property. And I was, hey, Bobby. I'm like, yeah. And she was like, "Did you go out there and get me the mail?" All right, I'll be right there. So I had to limp my ass off the trampoline. I had to go to the mailbox, get the mail. I had to go walk over to my grandma's house. I walk over to my grandma's house. My grandpa's sitting there watching TV, and she's over there by her couch and whatnot. I got your mail. And then I went to hand him her mail like this, and I had blood pouring down my face. She goes, "Oh my God, what in the hell are y'all doing out there? We're wrestling."
Yeah, that's right. The backyard wrestling.
We're wrestling. What's it look like?
That probably gave her a scare of her life.
Oh hell, yeah. No, we were more than rowdy. That was I remember one time my little brother, he jumped literally off of our trailer, our house, and I had my leg trapped in
Yeah.
a chair.
Yeah.
My bad leg. I don't know why I did that anyway. You know, I'm dumb enough. Apparently, I'm dumb enough to let him do it. And luckily, I moved my leg up out the way some.
Yeah.
Boy, he landed off that roof and bounced that trampoline. I couldn't walk for 3 weeks.
Oh, damn.
Couldn't walk for 3 weeks. I had to get pushed around in a wheelchair. And at the school, and the freaking wheelchair was broke.
Oh, no.
One of its legs was like super extended out. So like anytime we'd roll it down the hallway, somebody'd be pushing me, a damn near clothesline somebody. That was fun.
Yeah. But it sounds like that also was something that y'all were doing that helped to even more further you want to get into professional wrestling itself.
Oh yeah.
And it also helped you understand a little bit about the business as well. Because what you learn in the backyard wrestling, you also can learn in professional wrestling itself.
Yep.
A lot of people don't understand that some of the best wrestlers that we know today
Yep.
came from backyard wrestling.
CM Punk.
Yeah, that's right. And Maya Media said, I gave my mom a similar scare. My brother busted me open with a cookie sheet.
Oh.
My mom freaked, but she still helped clean me up.
I bet, right, I bet.
That's right.
There you go.
And that was the hard way kind of busted open too.
Oh,
a lot of people
yeah.
don't understand that compared to what they do now, when you get busted open the hard way, damn.
Oh, yeah, you have to take a blast to the head.
Yes.
You do.
Especially because you can't get busted open by normal means. You got to take a full force blast to the skull to make that sucker bleed.
Oh, yeah. Oh, full on. And,
That's right.
But, you know, you look at some of them old matches, though, and that's what a lot of the old school guys look at as what we know as kayfabe now.
Yeah.
But, you know, you didn't pull, you know, you don't, and I think we're also seeing there's a lot of wrestlers these days that are stiff.
Yep.
I think we're starting with, especially with the rise of deathmatch wrestling.
Yep.
Japanese strong style becoming more prominent for the viewer. I think a lot of wrestlers are starting to go back to some of that old school route when it comes to their strikes.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Because some working strikes can work and look good, but I think that sometimes if you can handle the other guy punching you as hard as they can, then maybe those are the strikes that should be getting used because they look good. They are good and are real.
Right, and like you look at like a nice forearm strike. You ain't gonna ball up your fist. You hit someone with a forearm shiver, mighty nice.
Yep.
Boy, that can echo out through an arena.
Yep.
That can get people on their feet just as
it can.
just as fast as a 630 flip or whatever.
That's right, because less is more.
Yep.
That's kind of what that is. You're using that to get the fans up off their feet. You're not using any fancy big old moves. You're making sure that they know, hey, I'm going to hit this guy as hard as I can with just this.
Yep.
And you're going to get up off your damn feet and you're going to show me some love. And that's what they'll do every time because as soon as that loud cracking sound happens, when the hit happens, the fans are always up off their feet because less is more.
Yep.
A lot of wrestlers today can learn from that. But there are some wrestlers that prefer to do flippy floppies, and what they don't understand is that by doing that, you're kind of robbing the fans of experience. Because if you're doing flippy floppies twice in one sequence, the fans ain't going to remember that. They're not going to be invested in what you just did.
Right.
You kind of gave the fans a bad show, and the fans will let you know real fast.
Oh yeah, that's back in the day. I remember when I was going to independent shows, and like that was my first reaction was I was thinking, oh, I'm going to see some moonsaults or some hurricane ranas, and legitimately, the biggest move I seen in my first XCW Midwest show was a Macho Man style axe handle off the top.
That's great.
That was it. The rest was ring work.
That's right. Because that can even be as big as a superplex or a big old suplex. Because I remember back in that day, moves like going over the top rope, that was huge because it wasn't done too much. Even inside Royal Rumbles, it wasn't done too much. When they threw you out, you're either going over the rope and onto the apron, or you're going to be stomped down or clotheslined over. But when you got thrown over head first from the ropes. That was huge.
Right, because back in the day, in what was it? I think it was early WCW. I remember they had a shift in like who was running the show or whatever, and they made it illegal to throw somebody over the top rope. But then they exposed the floors. It was all concrete, so that would get the heel some major heat when the ref would get distracted or something happened, and then he would chuck somebody over the top rope, and they'd smack that concrete, and the crowd would just go nuts.
Yes, they would, because
something just throwing them over the top.
Exactly, and that's basically what wrestling is able to do, storytelling. They're watching the wrestlers wrestle each other, and they're getting invested in what's happening. If the wrestler's just doing flippy floppies and not trying to do something that'll get the fans' attention, the fans are going to remember what they just did with the 450 splash into a swanton bomb into a hurricanrana. They're going to be waiting to see, are these guys about to go at it and throw their opponent to the outside? Or are they going to hit a suplex? Jude Dillinger in here, he said, do you remember who we were whooping on so legit I accidentally got a fan to jump the rail on you?
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my first time ever working as a heel. All right, so this is when I was still a trainee.
Yeah.
And so I was just getting the opportunity of working birthday parties.
Yeah.
All right, so the first time I was a babyface, I came out with Coach and Ethan Heyer. He was doing this, like, Apollo Creed type, gimmick or whatever.
Nice.
He came out with the jacket and all that. And that was my first time at the ringside. Second time was at birthday party, and I was heel. I was playing bad guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Showbiz is naturally a bad guy. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
And it was me and Ghostmaker, and apologize, I'm spacing on the guy's name who we wrestled here at the moment, but we were, they were doing their thing, and I found this one woman out there in the crowd that just seemed a little extra on edge.
Yeah.
So I just figured I'd help her out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And, I said, before even getting to the ring, I called them every name in the book, but what made her mad the most was calling her poor. I guess, they're throwing a little bit of pocket change for this kid's birthday party. You don't think of yourself as poor, but guess what, lady? Now, I probably shouldn't have said that, but I did. Well, I went up there and started rubbing her face a little more, Referee gets back, turn a little bit.
Classic heel.
Choke old boy out a little bit, look at her, laugh in her face, give her what she deserves.
Yep.
Well, Ghostmaker goes throwing him outside towards the entrance ramp.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I'm going to get me some. I'm going to hit him up a few times. I go rearing back. My arm gets hooked.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And I look over, and this aged Barbie-looking chick has me hooked up like she's going to put me in a half Nelson. And then she shoves me into the barricade and crucifies me like this against the barricade, So I'm sitting over trying to talk all this jive, trying not, because she's got me gripped up.
Oh, no.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You going to jump me, and I'm over here trying to get up. I'm like, damn, I can't move. And I was like, oh, this ain't good. I'm not going, I don't need to look bad in front of all these people.
That's true.
You got gripped up by grandma. This ain't cool. And, and then Ghostmaker, he comes out, gives old boy a forearm smash to the back. And Ghostmaker brings the ref, Dallas, I think that's who it was. And
nice.
Brings the ref over, and he gets in, and he gets up to the old girl, and he goes, you better get her back behind that barricade before I do. Her face, whole demeanor changed. Paper white. She knew she screwed up.
Yep.
And but what was funny, I thought, was the husband. Because I looked over to him, and he was just sitting there in front row just like, oh, my God. like, are we for real? Like, you over here bought a birthday cake and all these niceties, and you're going to assault a handicapped dude over the barricade. Well, I just proved my point.
That's right.
They can't handle Mr. Showbiz. They couldn't handle Mr. Showbiz day one.
That's right.
That's why she had to assault me when I was trying to do my job.
Yep.
And then at the end of the show, oh, we gotta do a nice little picture for the little snot-nosed brat. Oh, forget that.
Exactly.
They wanted to hold me against my will, take me a freaking photo for some snot-nosed. Well, my grandma paid $1.95 for her little wrestling show.
All because you called her poor.
Oh, she hated that. I did, out of everything I called them, I threw out every name in the book I could think of, and calling them poor was like, oh, my bad, sorry, you didn't just come from McDonald's getting you a 3-piece nugget. My bad. Sorry, you're not poor.
That's the only reason why she grabbed you.
Yeah.
Because you called her poor.
Oh,
One time, you were rubbing it in her face, maybe a little bit, but over that, she wants to grab your arm and pull you up against the barricade. I don't know what she was doing to have that strength. I guess that's that grandma strength.
Yeah, no, she got that extra Tylenol strength. She took a few too many doses of her daily medicine, and she just decided to be a little froggy and jump.
Yep.
And then what happens in Miss Showbiz? I go up there in the apron, try to help out old Ghostmaker after I finally get freed, and then I get gripped up by old boy, and I think his name is Manny. I think that's who it was. And he gripped me up, drags me in through the middle rope. I'm fighting for my life. Old Ghostmaker goes and bam, hits him with a headbutt. We win. Yes, Mr. Showbiz has been winning from day one, and the fact that we keep getting used and abused and walked over here at Grindhouse is absolutely insane to me, and I think it's about time for things to change.
Especially because DWO is tag team champions, and you guys are #1 contenders.
Yep.
And y'all ain't yet seen hide nor hair of getting an opportunity to face them for those titles.
Nope.
You've been #1 contender for this long, and y'all are being made to wait inside the line that y'all shouldn't be waiting in.
Nope. No, it's like buying line skips at a convention, and then being like, sorry, you just can't use them line skips. Oh, we already got our pass. We already got the VIP pass.
That's right.
We already got the line skip. We got next in line. We're supposed to already done had our merch. And guess what? You just gonna turn me away and tell me I can't have what I already done earned? Are we real?
Exactly.
What kind of game we play? Mr. Showbiz does not like games. Okay, I didn't grow up playing Monopoly.
Exactly.
I didn't be like, oh, I need to handle some business. I hop on the PS2. No, I don't play games. I want you to put money in my hand so I can put money in my pocket so I can go and put money in the bank.
That's right.
Okay? And so what I want is for them to do what they should do. That's recognize grand business. Give us the winner's check. Give us a pay. We need a boost. We need some pay. Tariffs are hard out here.
Exactly. I thought that in wrestling, when you're the #1 contender, that means that you have already got your title shot in the bank. And I ain't seen y'all get a match with DWO at all. It almost seems like DWO and the commissioners of Grindhouse are making sure that y'all are not going to get that title opportunity, because they already know the moment the Grim Business get that title match, it's a done deal. Y'all have already got the title on your shoulders.
Yep, already. And I think DWO, though, they're doing their little bitty finger tricks. They're playing Jim Henson meets pro wrestling. Like, boys, this ain't no game. You over here, we're going to put you in the doghouse.
Exactly.
We're going to bury you and your careers, and you're going to go back home to mama, eat your nice big old fat bowl of Wheaties, and you're going to leave it up to the men in this business to do what needs to be done. That's to make Grindhouse money. That's to give Grindhouse some prestige, but they can't get it if they're too busy playing around with clowns all day and having paper champions.
Exactly. And plus, they're supposed to be the champions, but I ain't seen them put the titles online against any other tag teams. And you guys that's been #1 contender are right there at the head of the line, and y'all be made to wait at the back of the line somehow.
Always.
It's like a conspiracy is being made against Grim Business.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Project Blue Book all over.
Exactly.
Again.
And plus, y'all being #1 contenders mean that y'all should have already had y'all's titles match at the Rise show. So what happened there? Why didn't they put the titles online against y'all?
how do you know what the three-piece really think? You know, these aren't your normal everyday people. These are not normal, considerate, thinking people. This is quote-unquote business. Sometimes you gotta do a little dirty in order to get business done. Mr. Showbiz understands that. But Mr. Showbiz also understands equal opportunity, because people like me being disabled, we never get equal opportunity. We're always at the back of the bus. We've always, like you said, had to overcome hurdles. So when does it come to the point of you guys aren't even equal opportunity? You guys are just all for yourselves.
Exactly.
You don't care about business. You don't care about grim business. You don't care about giving us what we've earned. You don't care about the people giving not what the people want, but what the people need, like Listerine and toothpaste. It's these swamp-crawling, muskrat-eating little hilljacks who need somebody like Mr. Showbiz.
Exactly.
They need grim business. They don't understand it yet, but they don't know what it's like to eat from a tree with ripe fruit. They've just been given the scraps and told to deal. Well, Mr. Showbiz doesn't want y'all to deal. Mr. Showbiz wants y'all to have a good time, enjoy the show, put some money in the grim business pocket, and go home, leave me alone so I can enjoy my women, my money, and everything else I like to enjoy in life. People just want to get in the way. And it's about time for Mr. Showbiz, for Leo Grimm, and for Ghostmaker to start shoving people out the way, shoving them out of line, hell, at the back of the line. They don't even get in the line. We're going to pick up the line. We have the winner's circle. We get the payday. Everybody else comes after.
That's right. It's time y'all take y'all's opportunity, because they're not going to give you the opportunity. So maybe it's time for y'all to take it.
It's going to be time to take it. We're going to have to throw them out in the trash where they belong with the rest of the fans, all the wannabe wrestlers at Grindhouse, all the wannabe businessmen throwing up numbers in the back, the three-piece suits. It's time for them to learn grim business gets handled whether you want it to or not.
Especially when you're number one contenders, and it should have already been y'all's chance, because they know that y'all are. You've already got the champions pegged. You know what they're all about. You know what they can do. Y'all studied their tapes. DWO knows this all too well, and I swear it feels like them and whoever is in charge is thinking, you know what? We don't got to give the number one contender a spot. Let's give these jacklegs inside the back a spot. And that's wrong, because in my day, wrestling always honored the number one contender, and now it seems like the number one contender has been pushed aside.
Right.
And it's wrong. Y'all need y'all's opportunity, because DWO knows that when they give y'all the opportunity, finally, it's going to be a very short title reign for them.
Oh, you know. And see, that's why they're trying to drag it on. It's like Santino Marella when he was doing like the Intercontinental Champion thing, and he figured out any other way in order to get around defending, in order to winning fairly. And DWO, like, they want to play like they're fair, like they're for the people. DWO, those people don't care about you. The business doesn't care about you. People like us, we're disabled. We are disposable. They don't care. And the fact that you are selling you and your own people out for gold, for money, it just proves to me, in order to rectify the errors of their ways, we're going to have to take from them that means the most.
Exactly.
And that's what they love. Their gold, their recognition that they're doing a good job for the boss man. Nah. Hell with all that.
That's right. And you know, I find it funny because they know that you're disabled. They know this. But they go and they put Deaf World Order on a pedestal because they're deaf. But they don't do that same thing for anyone else that's disabled. Right. It's pretty weird.
Right. What do you go? Why does Mr. Showbiz have a strap? Why does Mr. Showbiz have some 24 karat draped around his waist?
Exactly.
How come Leo Grimm and Ghostmaker don't have gold strapped around their waist. It's because of the favoritism. It's because DWO, like I said, they are the twin Uncle Toms of the disability community. They want to go there and do what makes the boss man happy, what puts a little money in their pocket. It doesn't matter if they're underpaid.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if they're being represented the right way. It doesn't matter if they're being used ethically. They're just being used as disability fodder.
And they don't care about that, because if they did, they would have said, no, we won't be your father. But guess what? They love being father. They love to be put on that pedestal. They love to be puffed up like they're better than what they actually are. Meanwhile, they're stepping on all of the people that actually do have disabilities, all because they're deaf.
Yeah, right. They got the healthy bodies, but then they want to play old Simon Says and act as if they deserve the opportunity. They deserve to be the face of the company. They deserve to be on the frickin' posters. Grim Business can't even get our number one contendership. We can't even get a freaking flyer for our match. We can't even be advertised for the shows. But DWO deserves it because they can play shadow hand puppet, fun time. That they deserve it. What? They're only a couple steps away from being fully physically able people.
Exactly.
Who are they? Mr. Showbiz is over here, broken body. I'm still over there stacking W's.
And it's funny that they push y'all down when they know that y'all got the disabilities, and they're like, we don't need y'all. We got our puppets to DWO to do our thing.
DWO ain't stepping up for me.
Exactly.
DWO isn't sticking up for their own. DWO isn't going out of the way to be like, listen, Grim Business deserves the number one contendership. They have earned the number one contendership. I haven't seen any of them go and doing all of this up to the boss man when they go and collect their nice little championship paycheck and being like, hey, maybe we ought to sign a contract. Maybe we ought to put a little money down. Maybe we ought to put a little money in Mr. Showbiz's pocket.
Exactly.
No, Mr. Showbiz don't deserve a fair shake. Mr. Showbiz doesn't deserve equal opportunity like they've apparently been given.
Exactly. And it feels like they enjoy being the puppets.
Oh, the little marionettes.
Yep.
Go over there and sell that t-shirt, boy. Go over there
and make us that money.
Sell us some tickets. Go over there and sell us some t-shirts. Don't worry, you'll get a little cut at the end. Mr. Showbiz isn't about the little cut. That's why they haven't done anything with Grim Business. Mr. Showbiz wants what's Grim Business is.
And that's the tag team championships, which are rightly and deservingly have earned the right to face DWO, because DWO is ducking y'all, and they know that they are, because they are Grindhouse's puppets. They're the guys that's making Grindhouse all that money for their disability when they can do hand things. And I know that they could go up to the boss man and tell him, hey, Grim Business earned the right, let us face them. But they don't do that because they know as soon as they do get that match, they're going to lose. They know it because they can see that Drew Dillinger and Leo Grimm are hungry. They are always
starving.
On point. That's right.
We are starving for it. Starving. We are foaming at the mouth. We're waiting for our morsel of food. We've only asked for breadcrumbs up to this point. Now it's time for some frickin' steak.
And it looks like y'all gonna have to take it, because DWO and Grindhouse are both scared, because they know as soon as they do allow this match to happen, DWO's tower reign comes to an end on the first match against y'all.
And what happens with, as a DWO, they went up against Joey Janela and Megan Bain. Ooh, I mean, we could have taken them.
You could.
We defeated Roughhouse. I feel it's about time for the three pieces and DWO to understand this wasn't about Grim Business. This wasn't about this wasn't personal. It wasn't personal at the time. This was just Grim Business going to do what we were meant to do, and that's succeed, and that's win gold, that's make money. You know,
that's right.
What we're supposed to do. But they made it personal. They kept cutting the line. They kept cutting our feet out from under us.
They did.
And now we got to take it into our own hands. We got to do what we have to do. And if we hurt some people along the way, fine. If some kids cry along the way, even better. If I make a grandma or two mad, good for me.
Exactly.
You know, I don't care what they think. Grim Business doesn't care what any of them dumb people think. And it's about time that the locker room and the three-piece suits understand how Grim Business operates. And if they aren't willing to give us what we've earned, then we'll give them what they've earned. And that's a thrashing that they've never seen before.
Exactly.
It's a thrashing they've never felt before. And they're going to suffer. They're going to suffer bad. Then we're going to take our championship gold, and then we're going out and we're going to live the good life. And then we're going to come back, and we're going to make tag team championships relevant again.
Exactly, because while they're on DWO, they ain't been defended.
Right.
So it's almost like the relevancy they had has slowly gone downhill until our rightful champions have been crowned. And that's Grim Business.
Yep.
They won't give y'all the time opportunity because they know that's the truth.
Yep.
I feel like DWO has been afraid of you guys since the day that they first saw y'all.
Yep.
And they realized that by running and by keeping the titles out of y'all's grasp, that y'all will not have them.
Yep.
But the joke's on them. The sooner or later, y'all are going to take the opportunity because y'all don't got to wait.
Sooner or later. Yeah, they expect us to be the good little boys, to sit back and wait our turn more. No.
You're right, Drew Dillinger. I think that they are a bunch of DWO fans because they decided not to be here with me. I invited my co-host Big Beard to be here, and lo and behold, he had to be away tonight. But you know what? I feel like they are DWO fans because where are they? Oh, that's right. Just like DWO, they had to have a bunch of excuses for why they're not here. Sean Johns could have been here. Big Beard could have been here. The intern could have been here. Andy could have been here. Any of them could have been here, but they're not here because I feel like they are DWO fans. And because they don't want to talk what's necessary about DWO, because it's true that DWO has been ducking y'all because they've had plenty of chances to put the title on the line. They've had plenty of chances to go up to the boss man and be like, hey, boss man, Grim Business earned the right to face us. Let us go out there and face them.
That's all they had to say. That's it. Poof. Then it would have been settled. Then we would have probably gotten on the frickin' poster. Then we probably would have gotten a little, Grim Business would have been in a better light than where we are right now.
Exactly.
But they don't. They don't want to bring what lies in the dark in the light.
It seems like if you're a puppet for them, you get on the poster.
Oh.
But if you're not a puppet for them, you won't get onto the poster.
Yeah, you go out there, you sling a couple dozen tickets. Sure. You go out there, you sling some of their merch. Sure. You go out there and you wear their hoodies and their T-shirts and their sweatpants and their little bracelets and their little flimsy hats. Sure. Sure, we'll give you some room on the poster.
Yep.
We'll give you some room in the marquee. We'll put your name in lights. What's Mr. Showbiz got to do? Mr. Showbiz can knock out the king of the death match and send him walking.
That's right.
To the point where he doesn't even want to come back and face Mr. Showbiz and Leo Grimm.
Exactly.
And what can Mr. Showbiz do? Mr. Showbiz can take out the King of the Death Match. He can take out the greatest tag team in Grindhouse history. But then Grim Business can't get ours.
Exactly. And plus, they'll air everyone else's match right away, but Grim Business ain't got a match at all on the YouTube channel. I just noticed that. I went on there, and the only things that I see of Grim Business is the promos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they even have what couple matches they did put up of us completely buried in the algorithm. They got us buried in the bottom, the bare bottom. They don't want to show me knocking out John Wayne Murdoch.
They sure don't.
For Leo Grimm to get the 3 count. They don't want to show that. They don't want to show how Leo Grimm was screwed out of the ladder match at Rise last year. They don't want to show all of that.
I was there for last year's ladder match too.
Yeah, gave us rinky-dink ladders.
They did.
Gave us rinky-dink ladders that caused Leo Grimm to almost kill himself.
That's right.
And he stood up and continued to fight for what should have been his.
That was the first conspiracy that they lobbied against y'all.
Yeah.
With the ladder.
We should. Right. How are you going to put a rinky-dink ladder in there that can't take someone jumping off of it?
And that it's conspiracy only was flimsy for Leo Grimm.
Right. Oh, the referee wouldn't come inside the ring and help a disabled Mr. Showbiz hold the ladder.
He wouldn't, nope.
No.
He stayed outside.
He stayed outside trying to mind his... Hell, Mr. Showbiz should have just climbed up the ladder his damn self.
Yeah, because...
I should have just grabbed the belt.
Yeah, because there's no rule that says that y'all couldn't have climbed it.
Yeah, I should have just risked my own legs, and I should have climbed it myself, because instead of waiting for the ref to do their job, you know...
It's almost like the referee was told, hey, no matter what, don't help Mr. Showbiz. Don't help Leo Grimm climb that ladder.
Yeah, and between us, I tried to give old boy a little cash backstage. I want.
Hey, there's something wrong with that.
I had a feeling the system was gonna be put against Leo Grimm. So what does Mr. Showbiz do? He tries to do what all good showbiz does. That's make the show better. I offered to get them new ladders. No, we don't need nothing. We don't need any of Showbiz's money.
Yep.
And then you go out and you allow a travesty like that. You allow for someone like Mr. Smaller than Rice, Ethan Lower, to go up and
retrieve that title, which would have been the first gold that Leo Grimm successfully brought to Grimm Business.
Yeah, that would have been his first hunk of 24-karat gold.
Yes, it would have.
That Leo Grimm, guess what? Deserved.
Exactly. Just like right now with the #1 contendership, y'all deserve the tag team titles.
And look where we're at.
It feels like it's the same pattern. They put in flimsy ladders at that time. They've seen y'all rising, and their first thoughts are, we can't let Drew Dillinger or Leo Grimm get their hands on those tag team titles. We got to do whatever we can to keep DWO safe from them.
Exactly.
But at the cost of the #1 contendership, the one thing that's supposed to be a prestigious thing to hold, just like the titles.
Yeah.
And they're not upholding it.
Yeah.
They're making sure that you guys don't get y'all's title opportunity. Y'all going to have to go and grab that opportunity by its balls and force it, because they're forcing y'all's hand.
Yeah. They think they're playing with better cards than the one that's dealing the cards. Okay? Mr. Showbiz doesn't play with anyone else's deck of cards. Mr. Showbiz has the cards. Mr. Showbiz knows what to play. But the problem is, if the system is rigged from the start against the one who is supposed to have all the cards in their hands, well, then guess what? They're just handicapping the handicap.
Exactly.
Again.
And yet they say that they're all for the handicap because they got DWO.
Yes, the tag team champions. They're all about that representation. No, they're not.
The only thing that they care about is that DWO is deaf. But if they were completely disabled, they'd be like, you guys are on your own.
Right. No. If they had to have, a little bit more of a cushion behind them, Mr. Showbiz don't need. I don't need their favoritism. I don't need their cushion, but a little bit of equal opportunity would be nice.
Drew Dillinger said, I spent COVID destroying the Impact roster. My victims include Rhino, James Storm, and Crazy Steve, and I'm teaching Leo Grimm how to channel his demons to be even worse than myself one day. There's literally zero chance DWO isn't being protected by the office. You guys are right. That's right. Because think about it. Y'all are #1 contenders, and y'all should already have gotten y'all's opportunity to face DWO fair and square for the tag team titles. And what has DWO done?
Ran.
Yes. And not only that, but they've also had the office pretty much protecting them, making sure that that never happens, because DWO is their poster child. DWO is their puppet.
Protecting the cash cow.
Exactly. And that's why they're on the flyer. That's why Grim Business isn't, because they need the puppets to be the ones that they have control of. Because as soon as they got the puppets, they can put them on the poster and be like, hey, you guys going to come here and make us money, because now we got people that we can put on that poster and smile about. They're going to be kissing babies, shaking hands, doing all this. But when they got someone like Grim Business that wants to do business and make their titles relevant, they don't care, because they want DWO, their puppets that they can control, to be the only ones that hold the titles. And those titles are losing their relevancy quick. Y'all are wanting to bring business to them.
Yeah, we want Grindhouse to mean something. We don't just want this place to be Tough's house.
That's right.
We don't just want this place to be Coach's house. We want this place to be Grind House. And what's happening? We're slowly seeing everything unravel. What happens when your tag team titles no longer have relevancy? What happens when your .com championship loses its relevancy?
Exactly.
We can get someone like Vanessa Holiday to come in and act as a pseudo general manager, one-time general manager, and be able to take gold off of the waist of somebody like Too Smooth Eli Cruz, like they took the .com championship. Where was that fair? How can you put somebody that is rule number one, that is of showbiz? You don't want unexpected chaos to ruin your production.
Exactly.
How are you going to put someone in a literal part-time role, one time only, and you're going to allow them the power to strip someone wrongfully of their championship?
Especially when there was never the commissioner for that long. So how the heck did they show up? Now they're commissioner for one day, and they get to have that power to take someone's rightful championship from them.
Oh, but they couldn't give us our tag team titles.
Exactly.
They couldn't take the straps off of DWO because they've ducked us 3 times. They couldn't put it on our shoulders. It's exactly what Vanessa Holiday did to Cruz. It stripped him of his gold, and it stripped him of everything. Now what's he going to do? His momentum is shot because what? Corporate greed and favoritism.
Exactly. And plus, whoever else is guest commissioners, I doubt that they're going to make y'all have a tag team title match. They're going to be just like every other commissioner. They're going to come in because they've been paid off by the office, and they're going to be like, yeah, no, y'all don't get y'all's tag team title opportunity. Y'all can stay inside the back. We're going to put these 2 guys that are not even in another contendership, and we're going to make those guys wrestle DWO.
Exactly.
Because it feels like that's what it is, a big, giant setup. Like they're trying to make sure that y'all never get y'all's title opportunity. Yes. Y'all going to have to take it, because every time that they got someone there, that someone's going to be doing what they want them to do. They're not going to make a championship opportunity happen for y'all. They're going to be like, ignore that they're number 1 contender. Make these guys have the match, but don't give Grim Business their opportunity. Because, I mean, look at it. They ain't got y'all on the posters. They ain't got y'all front and center on anything. Your matches ain't getting shown off. Y'all ain't getting shown off. And because DWO is their puppets, of course those guys are going to get showed off, because now they're front and center on everything. They got their centerpiece. They're the tag team champions. And where's y'all's? Oh, I know where, because they're treating the number 1 contendership like it meant nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Which is bad.
Yeah, if your number 1 contendership means nothing, then your titles mean nothing.
Exactly.
Back in the day, if you didn't defend your title every 30 days, you lost it.
Exactly.
And you never had people that ran away from championship matches, especially it's supposed to be the quote-unquote good guys.
Exactly. And plus, they should have always defended their titles, because I'm pretty sure we're coming up on a lot of days where they've not defended the titles, and if this was old school rules, they would have already been stripped.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Just because they defended against Megan Bain and Joey Janela. Okay, yeah, they defended once in a blue moon. Okay, you get a little easy one-off match. All right, whatever. But you're gonna they were not in front of the line.
Exactly.
We were at the front of the line. We are still at the front of the line.
Exactly.
We are the line.
So where the heck does it come where they say that the number one contenders have to wait behind a bunch of others because y'all should have already had your opportunity. Y'all should have already had that match. DWO, they're ducking y'all, and it's pretty obvious that the office is backing them big time to make sure that this never puts the towel on y'all.
Exactly.
Because they know that the moment that y'all get y'all's title opportunity, y'all finally get to wrestle,
it's ours.
It's a done deal.
It's ours. It's going around Mr. Showbiz's shoulders.
That's right.
Strut with that gold. I might even pose for some magazines. I might even go to some newspapers. It's 2025. Ain't many newspapers left. I'll do it anyway.
That's right.
I'll go door to door and I'll talk to every grandma that doesn't want to hear it and will be willing to hear it.
That's right. That'll make that title irrelevant again.
We got to do something. We have a problem in the world of professional wrestling where paper-mache champions and paper-mache superstars are willing to step over anybody and everybody in order to get what they want. And Mr. Showbiz respects that. Mr. Showbiz understands sometimes that it takes a little dirty to get a little bit of what you want. And I understand. But the fact is, Grim Business tried by the rules. We tried earning our stuff the right way. We tried being what the corporation needed of us to be.
Exactly.
And they still don't want any part in the monsters that they have created because they are scared about what will happen if their pocketbook and their little self-image is put on the line. When the dark comes to light and it is revealed how these people act, how these people have treated Grim Business, how these people have done business against Grim Business, the people will know what Mr. Showbiz, what Leo Grimm, and what Ghostmaker have known from the start, and that people need to wake up.
Exactly, because people should have already been waking up. Because if they've not been noticing, when your champions ain't defending the championship and they've been given all this opportunity to do what the hell they want, but the people that should be getting the opportunities are not getting the opportunities, that's when you gotta open your eyes and realize the office and their champions that they've chosen to represent them are letting the company lose its relevancy because now the titles are nowhere to be seen. The titles are gone, ghosted, nowhere to be seen. And DWO just keeps on running and running and running. And the office is okay with that because why? Because office, they don't care about it. They only care about the money. They don't care about the looks. They don't care about the posters, the merch. They're like, the titles can be just anything. You guys don't deserve to wrestle our champions. But the people need to open up their eyes and realize DWO, they're not good people. They pretend to be good people. It's all a sham.
And DWO, I'm talking right to y'all. What are you going to do when the cat and mouse stops? What are you going to do when Grim Business wraps our hands around your throats? What's going to happen when we bury you in front of all those people that claim to love you? They're going to leave you, and the higher brass is going to leave you in the dust where you belong.
That's right, because that's what they are. They are just the newest plaything. When it's all said and done, they're going to be left in the dust because just like any other newest plaything, they get bored.
They're going to start gathering some dust. They're going to get used and abused and thrown away like some chewed out gum. Then they're going to get tossed over at the Goodwill and someone's going to buy them on clearance because ain't no one going to want them anyway.
Exactly. And that's when the people going to realize that these guys, they wasn't their champions. No, because champions defend their titles. But I ain't seen the championships getting defended. Only one time against Megan Bain and Joey Janela, and that was okay. But at the same time, that should have been y'all that was facing them, not them.
Yep.
Because of where have they been? Where have they been? I'll tell you where they're not defending their titles no more. And Joey Janela and Megan Bain, they're not there to wrestle no more.
Nope.
They're somewhere else. Whereas y'all are there. Y'all have earned y'all's right. Every time that y'all are at the Grindhouse, y'all have been clawing. Y'all have been fighting. Y'all have been tearing. Y'all have been ripping. And yet the champions still refuse to go to the top brass and go, these guys deserve to face us, so let us have that title opportunity match now.
Yes. And that's the problem. We, Grim Business, are Grindhouse bred. This is supposed to be the place where we're supposed to feel safe.
Exactly.
This is the place where we're supposed to feel loved. This is the place where we're supposed to be made to feel special, that we can go out and become something in the world of pro wrestling. What does that send out to your talent, your future trainees, when your own homebred talent gets tossed aside for some quick internet clout?
Exactly.
Gets tossed aside from someone else's talent.
And they seem to forget that Drew Dillinger is a former two-time Generation X Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, and he's bringing that expertise into Grim Business and teaching Leo Grimm the ropes to make him into a monster that he has always been. And they're not giving that opportunity at all, which should have been his opportunity right now.
Yeah.
But
no contract, no money, no pat on the back, no see you down the road, nothing, not a freaking peep. Not a word out of the mouths of the three-piece suits.
Exactly. Not to mention that they tried to gaslight the Ghostmaker into no longer accepting himself, no longer accepting the Ghostmaker into his heart. They tried to trick him into giving up everything that makes him him.
Yes, because they don't like what's inside of Ghostmaker. They don't want out what's inside of Ghostmaker. That's why Mr. Showbiz came to Leo Grimm. Before Mr. Showbiz, Leo Grimm was a bona fide cowboy. He was a bounty hunter trying to find his way in a world of sharks. And he just didn't know how to get his footing until Mr. Showbiz came in. Mr. Showbiz gave him the money backing. Mr. Showbiz introduced into his life the Unforgiven to give him a source of pride, a source of passion, a source of power. And then Grindhouse brings in John Wayne Murdoch to take it from us. John Wayne sends it back to me in a box all broken, like he was going to end the Unforgiven. He was going to end Leo Grimm. So what happens? Mr. Showbiz throws some money out, gets the mask fixed, brings in Ghostmaker.
Yep.
And now look. What was once lost now is found.
That's right.
Leo Grimm knows who he is, and he is a monster. He is Unforgiven. He is a brutalizer of human flesh.
That's right.
And Ghostmaker, they tried to hide the demon. They tried to exorcise
They did.
the demon. You can't get rid of a demon. Evil has a hard time of leaving. And Ghostmaker is evil. Ghostmaker has a darkness inside of him that attracted Mr. Showbiz. And that is when I knew I needed Ghostmaker to come into the faction to create Grim Business in order to help Leo Grimm become who he is meant to be, and that is the most dangerous man in Grindhouse Pro Wrestling.
That's right. And it's awfully funny that they did try to do all that, because it's almost like they knew that if y'all were all to come together,
Yes.
it'd be a big problem for them.
Well, right. Because what? We got three minds that think a lot alike. And all three of us have been stunted by the system.
That's
all
right.
three of us have been passed over like we are some fly-by talent. That we don't mean anything, just like the rest of those sicko fans out there in the crowd, all them dumb hilljacks.
They are
the same. They look at people like Ghostmaker, like Leo Grimm, like Mr. Showbiz, like we don't mean a damn. We don't mean a damn thing to any of them. That's why they don't care about passing us over.
Exactly.
They don't care about giving away what we earned, our number one contenderships, the Grindhouse Tag Team Champions. They don't care because they don't know what it's like to be in our shoes. But we do.
Exactly.
We understand the struggle, the fight. And we're bringing that fight to Grindhouse. And whether they like it or not, they're going to put as many obstacles as they can in my way. So be it. Mr. Showbiz will throw out his wallet. You want to put more obstacles in our way? I'll have Ghostmaker tear him down.
That's
you
right.
want to put more obstacles in our way? I'll have Leo Grimm crush them. And then we'll handle Grimm business. Not the way we were hoping to have it handled.
Yep.
We were hoping to come out, leaving everybody to be able to come and make some money from Mr. Showbiz and
Yep.
Mr. Showbiz's arena. You know, we'd like to have more food on everyone else's table. But if Mr. Showbiz has to take it all for himself, just like DWO is doing, not because I want to, because DWO keeps ducking, they keep collecting the winner's pay,
That's right.
and they keep putting food on their tables while denying mine.
Exactly. And that's how it's got to go, because the people have chosen them. The people care about them because they're heel jacks, because the people are a bunch of simpletons.
Simpleton.
They see DWO and they're like, "Oh, these guys are disabled. I love them because they do sign language and they talk to us like that." But they don't understand that DWO, they ain't got nothing wrong with them. The only thing they got wrong with them is that they cannot hear.
Right. No, they're fully able-bodied wrestlers. They don't have to have all that extra help. They can go and play Simon Says with whoever they want. They'll
Yes,
still
they can.
get business. But throughout most of Mr. Showbiz's life, people looked at me as a quote-unquote liability.
They did.
And Mr. Showbiz is more than happy to revert back to that mindset. I will be Grindhouse's liability. I will make sure that your insurance rates spike so severely because all of your talent is being laid to the wayside and put in hospitals and being forced to eat their food through straws because you're too cowardly to give us what we want, what we've earned, what we deserve. Oh.
And I get that. It angers you because DWO's been treated like they got severe disabilities, even though their name shows what they have. Deaf World Order. But they ain't got no problems with their legs, no problem with their arms, no problem with their chest, stomach, or anything else wrong with them.
Nothing.
They're healthy as a fiddle. Meanwhile, Mr. Showbiz, he's constantly dealing with pain. Same thing with you dealing with your Aunt Leo Grimm. But what do they get? They get pushed to the side. They get pushed aside the background. They don't even get their faces put onto a poster to promote anything about their match. Their match gets mentioned, nothing's on the Facebook, nothing's on anything else. No poster posted. I didn't even know that y'all were having a match. Why? Because Grindhouse shows their favoritism.
Yeah. Oh no. We're not expected to have a match at Nightmare on Spring Street. I mean, come on. The monsters of the company aren't on the Halloween promo.
And it makes no sense.
The monsters aren't on the Halloween promo? Okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? Okay, so then what is Grim Business? I would have thrown him a stack, you know. Mr. Showbiz is trying to bring some money to y'all.
Exactly.
I'm trying to bring some people into this building. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much.
Exactly.
But we just keep getting taken advantage of and used and abused, and we keep getting our opportunities taken, and we're just wanting equal opportunity. We want what everybody else is given, and that's an equal and fair chance to be great. And Grim Business has proved it time and time again, and we keep getting the bad end of the stick.
Exactly. I mean, y'all should be on that poster. I mean, the poster itself is a 4 monsters, and there's no other single monster on that poster. It's almost like they're saying, only inside name is it Spring Street. We don't care about the monster theme.
Right. We'll put up a stuffed hippo on the Halloween poster. We'll put a British guy. I love Oliver Gunner, by the way. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, Oliver Gunner, we do love you.
But you know what I'm saying? You know, we'll put Allie Albright up on a poster. But listen, this isn't Taylor Swift Fun Time with rainbows and sugar sticks. Jesus Christ, this is supposed to be Nightmare on Spring Street. This is Mr. Showbiz's backyard now that they're going to be playing in.
Exactly.
And Grim Business doesn't get on the flyer.
It makes no sense that Grim Business is not front and center on that poster. They could be anywhere on that poster, and yet they're not.
They're not. We're not. Because why? They're afraid. It makes a lot of sense when all of you hypocrites out there really open your eyes and open your ears and think. You are being played for fools. The brass doesn't care about you. They just want your money. They don't want you to have a fighting champion, a fair champion. They don't want you to be able to have the best of what you are owed by spending your money. They don't care.
Exactly, because what it comes down to it. DWO, they're the perfect proxy for them. Perfectly made to be their front and center poster boys.
Yep.
They got Allie Albright to be their front and center poster girl. But where is the monsters for this poster? I'll tell you where. They decided, we don't gotta put no monster on this poster because we got some poster boys, we got some poster girl, we got poster faces that we're gonna have. We can have Oliver Gunner, no offense to him. It almost feels like they're obligated to put him on there. But where is the monsters? Where's Grim Business? That should have been front and center. If you're going to be marketing as Spring Street, Nightmare on Spring Street, it should have the monsters front and center because that's what this entire thing is supposed to be. The Monsters Day, the Monsters Night. But they ain't got the monsters at all. It's almost like they're scared to put them front and center.
It's like Halloween 3 without Michael Myers.
Exactly.
It's like you're waiting and you're waiting. Oh, wait, here's some spooky something coming. Where are they at?
And another analogy, it's almost like Halloween Ends where you think that's going to be a Michael Myers movie, but then it's not Michael Myers at all. They sweep it out from underneath your feet, and now you're having to deal with someone that you did not know that's a poster boy.
Yep.
All because they're scared.
Right. They are terrified. They're terrified of what we're going to bring to light once we have the spotlight. Once Grim Business creeps out from the shadows and takes reign as the front runners in Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. They are terrified of that fact.
And it should have been y'all that was getting your top opportunities, but they're not doing it because to them, you're not poster boys for them. You're not the perfect proxies that they can use. You're not people that they can go, oh yeah, these people will follow everything that we say to a letter and never question us. They want puppets, people that they can put on strings and they can control. Yep. DWO is the perfect example of that. Allie Albright, perfect example of that. Put some strings on them and they all would dance how they want them to dance.
You come out to a twinkly little song, come out and get the fans up on their feet and clubbing, yay!
And selling that merch, whereas titles ain't getting offended.
Oh man, DWO all this merch. Grim Business ain't got a shirt yet. You know, they're not slapping Grim Business on merch.
Exactly.
They're not slapping Grim Business on the marquee. You know, they don't care about Grim Business. You know, fair enough, Grim Business don't care about them anyway.
Exactly.
But at least we feel we deserve to be treated fairly.
It looks like Grim Business is going to have to take matters in their own hands because these people want to make y'all wait while they're talking about fair and square. But there ain't been no fair shakes from them.
Nope.
There's not been nothing sent y'all's way. Anytime y'all have had a chance to almost get a title opportunity, DWO has ran, and they've agreed to that running.
Yep.
They've given DWO Joey Janela and Mega Bane, but they never once thought that the number one contenders for the titles should have been the ones that were facing them on that night.
Yep.
And that's because, in their eyes, it's all about their puppets. Their puppets must keep the titles, but they know that if they give y'all the chance, it could be a very short night for them.
Well, the Grindhouse faithful have this one thing to look forward to. And it's that Grim Business has every intention of turning up the heat just for them.
Nice.
Grim Business has every intention of turning up the pain and the fury because we are going to go in to Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. Whether they want to give us our title shot or not, fine. We'll take it. We'll take everything from them. We will take everything for ourselves. We will treat them the way they treated us all this time. And we won't stop. We will make this place chaos. Absolute bloodshed and carnage. And if anyone steps in our way,
that's right.
Find out the hard way that business is now personal. And Grim Business is going to get handled.
And you know what? If the Grindhouse office tries to act like they didn't see it coming, yes, they did. Because they pushed y'all into a corner and they backed y'all right there and they said, y'all ain't allowed to come out of this corner. Y'all had to show them, we ain't staying inside this corner. We're going to kick that door down. Exactly. We're going to tear up this entire place, and we're going to show y'all how we feel about this. Because we know that y'all being unfair to us, because you backed us into this. Yes. So now let us show you what happens when we don't try to be professional towards y'all. We're going to show y'all what a monster can do.
Exactly. And my monsters, like I said before, they're starving. We are starving. We are ready for championship gold. We've been ready. And it's time for us to take what's ours.
That's right. Because it's about time that they start realizing that when you back monsters into a corner,
you get bit.
That's right. And as soon as you get bit, you find out what happens when they stop playing nice, when they stop showing you the goodness of their heart. Because it feels like every time y'all have shown them the goodness of their heart, it always backfires onto y'all because y'all still ain't on the posters. Y'all's matches ain't being seen. Y'all ain't being treated like poster childs at all. And you're not being promoted like you should be.
Nothing. Absolutely squat. Zilch. Nada.
But they will promote the ones that will say, oh, yeah, we got your best interest. Grindhouse, put the straps on us. We'll defend those titles every time. Nope. We'll just run. And you can just treat us like we're champions who fight for justice and all that. I know, right? And yet they'll say that they'll kiss babies and shake hands. Well, here's the thing of what they're actually doing. They're fake good guys. They say that they're the happy-go-lucky heroes that you love. But if you're still cheering for them when they're not defending championships, who's the fool?
Right. And then see, that's what they're mistaking. Mr. Showbiz is not all about shaking hands and kissing babies, okay? Mr. Showbiz would much rather shake babies and slap fans, okay?
That's right.
Mr. Showbiz doesn't care about the people. That's why they don't want us up at the front. because they want people pleasers. We don't care about the people because we are above the people, because we are better than the people, because we have proved it doesn't matter how hard you work, there are always going to be people that are going to slap you down and put people in front of you that don't deserve what you've worked for.
Exactly.
That you've earned. And it's time to rectify that problem in professional wrestling.
Exactly, because the Monsters Grim Business should have already had their tag team title match. There is no excuse for why the number one contenders have constantly been kept out of the title pictures. Nope. Constantly been treated like they're nothing.
Nope.
And plus, when you're a Nightmare on Spring Street, you should already have the Monsters front and center because that is their night.
Yes.
I mean, why would you keep the Monsters themselves off the one thing that should be their night? The one night where they can do what they want. And you're keeping them off there. You got Oliver Gunner on it. You got Ali Albright. But where's Lil Grim? Where's Mr. Showbiz? Where's Drew Dillinger, Ghostmaker? Where are they? I'll tell you where. Because they're scared to let the Monsters loose.
I have to come onto the NiceGuyAndy podcast. Thanks for having me, by
You're
the way.
welcome.
I have to come to a podcast just to let my voice be heard, because there's something going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is. Mr. Showbiz will find a way through it. Will jump over that hurdle like he has done every time before.
That's right.
And he will bring Grim Business to the mountaintop.
Because that's where they should be.
Yes.
Because they're already number one contenders for that tag team title shot. There's no telling which one of them will go for the Grindhouse Championship itself in the future.
Yep.
And if y'all got to, the .com championship, that's also looking like something that y'all could go after.
Mr. Showbiz might even wear that one.
That's right.
You know, Mr. Showbiz might throw on a singlet.
Because it's all about keeping these titles relevant. As long as DWO has it, tag team titles are not going to be relevant.
No, irrelevant. You can't even explain it. Like, this is why pro wrestling should keep to what is best for business.
That's right.
That is the name of the game. Grim Business is best for business. We are what is best for business. And if you constantly throw what's best for business to the back of the bus, don't give us the chances that we've earned. What is that saying to your fans? What is that saying to the people that spend their hard-earned money? Granted, it might only be a couple dollars. It's about all they make in a week, you know. But that's all they have to give in order to give their small, meaningless lives some worth.
That's right.
And Mr. Showbiz is trying to fill that gap. And he can't when the powers that be don't want Showbiz. They don't want to do what's best for business. They want to do what's best for them. There we go. That's the key.
That's right.
Word.
The key word. There's a reason why they tried to make sure Ghostmaker didn't accept himself. There's a reason why they tried to make sure that all these obstacles keep y'all from going after the tag team titles, because it's all about them. They want the DWO to be their best for business guys, their poster children. Yes. Whoever it is that is in control of it, they're the ones that's making sure that y'all ain't getting y'all's opportunity.
Yes.
So, whatever happens soon, when the Monsters have to make their voice heard, that's all on them. They ain't on anyone else. That's on the office and their big old, I want the DWO be our poster child attitude.
Yep. I mean, they're going to have to learn, man. You either do right by Grim Business, or we're going to increase your insurance.
That's right.
We're going to make you have to pay for your boys and your help. And if it even comes to it, hell, we're going to have to drag a few women out by their hair. I mean, we have to get nasty.
That's right.
But, you know, if that's what we have to do, it's what we have to do.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do because they have backed y'all inside the corner. They refused to give y'all the opportunity. You got to do what you got to do. If you got to get nasty towards all of them, it's coming. They saw this coming because they've been keeping y'all away. I mean, they also got to think, even before this, when they were trying to make Ghostmaker no longer accept himself and exercise the demon from himself. They were basically trying to tell him, you no longer need the Ghostmaker. And that's not who he was. Because him getting rid of Ghostmaker would have just been a lie to himself. He would have been no longer accepting who he is. Same thing with Leo Grimm. They were having Leo Grimm be a bounty hunter. He finally realized, thanks to you, that's not who Leo Grimm is.
No.
He's a monster.
Yes. He isn't Indiana Jones out there trying to hunt down some crystal skulls.
Exactly.
No. Leo Grimm is a monster to reckon with. This man has completely metamorphosized into the beast you see today. Because now he's not the man that you once saw before Mr. Showbiz.
That's right.
He's not the man you once saw. He is the monster. He is the unforgiven. And with Ghostmaker, it's the perfect relationship.
That's right.
It really is. It is the perfect relationship in order to bring the future of Grindhouse to the center.
Exactly.
Under the bright lights. We need Ghostmaker. We need Leo Grimm. We need Mr. Showbiz. The people need them.
And with that, we've come to the end of our show. Would you like to give the fans a little bit of know where you can find Showbiz?
Yeah, man. Mr. Showbiz on Facebook, obviously. I have a YouTube channel called Team Productions, T.E.A.M.
Nice.
Productions with a Z. That I run with my friends Josh Nidifer and Jimmy Way. We're at Scarefest weekend this weekend. We're doing a ghost hunt at the Warren Museum with the real Annabelle this weekend. Doing makeup effects classes with Joe Castro, who was behind the effects of Uncle Sam in '96. Nightcap on Elm Street with Robert Englund. We have all that going on. And then, my name is Roger Terry. I'm a writer. You can look me up online. I've published some Ray Bradbury essays to the University of Indiana. I've got some books out through Crystal Lake Publishing. I was published in a poetry anthology and for a 2023 author's journey course that we did.
Nice.
We have all that. We're going to be shooting my first short film for my full feature film coming up on the 22nd. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. Got a lot planned for Team Productions here in the future, and Grim Business.
Hell yeah.
Is going to be thriving alongside that just as well, and it's time that everything comes together and you all will be able to see it. So come on to my pages, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah.
That's right. And guys, I want to thank you, everyone that's been tuning in tonight, everyone's been commenting. Ghostmaker, Leo Grimm, y'all deserve y'all's tag team championship match.
Damn right.
And guys, I just have one thing left to say. If you're not having fun, you ain't getting none. Damn Skippy. Shout out to Grindhouse Pro Wrestling.
Nice Guy Andy Podcast.